Chapter 18. Gifts and Grace. While engaged in this blessed work of Christ, I have often been tempted to pride and the lifting up of my heart. And though I dare not say that I have not been infected with this, yet truly the Lord in his precious mercy has so helped me that for the most part I have not much given way to such a thing. This is because it had been my portion every day to glimpse the evil of my own heart, and to see such a multitude of corruptions and infirmities still therein, that it has caused my head to hang down under my gifts and attainments. I have felt this thorn in the flesh to be the very mercy of God to me. 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 7 to 9. Along with this, I have also at times had my attention drawn to some portion of the word that contains some sharp and piercing sentence concerning the perishing of the soul, even though gifts were involved. For instance, this has been of great use to me. If I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, but do not have love, I have become a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy, and know all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith, so as to remove mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 1 and 2. A tinkling cymbal is an instrument of music with which a skillful player can make such melodious and heart-inflaming music that all who will hear him play can scarcely keep from dancing. Yet the cymbal does not have life. Neither does the music come from the instrument itself. The music results from the talent of him who plays the instrument. So then, the instrument may in time come to nothing and be cast away, even though in times past such beautiful music has been made upon it. I saw that it was and will be just that way with those who have gifts but lack saving grace. They are in the hand of Christ, as the cymbal in the hand of David. And as David could make those sounds with the cymbal in the service of God that would elevate the hearts of the worshippers, so Christ can use these gifted men to affect the souls of his people in the church. Also, in the same way, when Christ is done using these men, they may be put aside in the same way that a lifeless, though sounding cymbal may be hung up and put aside. This consideration, therefore, along with some others, was for the most part as a hammer on the head of pride and the desire of vain glory. I thought, shall I be proud because I am a sounding brass? Is it so important to be a fiddle? Does not the least creature that has life have more of God in him than these? Besides, I knew that love would never die, but these things must cease and vanish away. So I concluded that a little grace, a little love, a little of the true fear of God is better than all these gifts. Yes, and I am fully convinced that it is possible for someone who can barely answer a question about the things of God to have 1,000 times more grace, and so to be more in the love and favor of the Lord than some who by virtue of the gift of knowledge can eloquently speak like angels. Therefore, I came to understand that though natural gifts in and of themselves are beneficial for the purpose for which they are designed, for the edification of others, yet they are empty and without power to save the soul of him who has the gift, if the person himself is empty of the grace of God. Neither are these gifts a sign of a person's potential to be happy, for they are only a dispensation of God to some, of whose improvement or non-improvement they must soon give an account to him who is ready to judge the living and the dead. This showed me too that gifts without grace were dangerous, not in themselves, but because of the evils that accompany those who have the gifts. Evils such as pride, desire of vainglory, conceit, and more, all were easily inflated at the applause and commendation of every unadvised Christian, endangering a poor creature to fall into the condemnation of the devil. I saw that he who has gifts needs to see the nature of them, that they do not save him or mean that he is saved. He must be certain not to trust in these natural gifts and talents, and so fall short of the grace of God. He must learn to walk humbly with God, and to be little in his own eyes. He must remember that his gifts are not his own, but they belong to the church, to the body of Christ, to be used in service to the members of that body. He must, in the end, give an account of his stewardship unto the Lord Jesus, and a good account will be a blessed thing. Let all men, therefore, add to their gifts the fear of the Lord. Gifts indeed are desirable, but great grace and small gifts are better than great gifts and no grace. The Bible does not say that the Lord gives gifts and glory, but the Lord gives grace and glory. Psalm 84 verse 11. Blessed is the one to whom the Lord gives true grace, for that is a certain forerunner of glory. When Satan perceived that his temptations and assaults would not serve his purpose of overthrowing my ministry and making it ineffective, he tried another way. Satan then tried to stir up the minds of the ignorant and malicious and have them slander and reproach me. I may say that what the devil could devise and what those whom he used could invent was spread up and down the country against me, thinking that by this means they would make my ministry to be abandoned. Therefore, people began to spread rumors that I was a witch, a Jesuit, a highwayman, and other things.